So as of January 1st, 2024, Washington State has changed some rules around how buyers interact with realtors and really what that process looks like for any home buyer out there. Anytime us as realtors conduct a brokerage service, which means showing you properties, negotiating offers on your behalf, we are going to be required to sign a document with you that officially lets us work for you. To give you a little background, it used to be that you as a home buyer could look at any house you wanted to, go in as many doors, call as many different realtors as you wanted to, and never sign an official agreement with somebody or really do an official interview with them. So as of January 1st, the first time you start experiencing brokerage services, which means showing homes, negotiating offers, those kind of things, that is now going to be required that you sign an agreement with that realtor. Now, I have always done this, and most realtors, I will say, have already done this in the past. So it's really not an entirely new thing. It's just now a required thing that you'll see across the board. So for a home buyer, it's more important than ever that you actually interview the realtor that you want to work with. You need to find out if they are qualified to handle negotiations, if they are going to benefit you in terms of showing you properties, getting a good idea of what you're looking for, and helping you navigate the entire process. The last thing you want to do is be stuck with a realtor who really doesn't know what they're doing, or somebody who can't really negotiate on your behalf, and now you are locked in with somebody that you really don't feel confident in working with. The other thing that's new is that there will be a commission conversation up front with that realtor. Now, sellers are most often still going to be offering a buyer's commission, which means that when a seller puts their home on the market, they've agreed to pay both their realtor and the realtor who brings them a buyer. Now, that means for me, working with buyers in the past and still in the present, for the majority of time, my clients, my buyer clients, will never pay me any sort of commission because the seller has already agreed to do that. However, now what we will be doing is agreeing up front, me and my buyer client, on what that commission looks like. And if there's any difference between that and what is now offered, that's going to have to be now a conversation with either the seller, a negotiated term there, or with that buyer, a negotiated term with them, potentially looking at putting that in the purchase price or closing costs. So that piece is very different than what we've ever done in the past. I will also mention that this is something that buyers need to be aware of as they navigate the process of interviewing realtors, finding out what commission they are agreeing on up front, and then what the industry average is. That's something that you'll definitely want to have a conversation with to find out what potentially the obligation would be if ever that commission is different. It's also super important to know that realtors who've told you that you do not have to sign this agreement up front are actually breaking the new Washington State laws. And you probably don't want somebody who's going to be breaking rules and breaking laws for you up front. That is not going to be somebody who's going to work in your best interest and navigate this process with you in a way that is in good faith. So knowing that this form is now required, you will be offered this form and you will be asked to have a conversation about it, but you do not have to sign it with the first person that you meet. You only have to sign the agreement once you've agreed you want to work with that person. One thing that is also really different on this form is it used to be unilaterally cancelable, which means that you could make a decision you want to cancel it, or the realtor could make a decision they want to cancel it. You guys both go your separate ways, even if the other person doesn't necessarily agree. That has now changed, and you have to have mutual agreement in order to cancel that document. So where does that leave us? Let's say you find someone who's a realtor working for you and they are not working well, and you want to get out of that contract with them. You can get out of the contract with the individual agent. However, their brokerage will still hold that contract with you. So you'll have to find another agent within the brokerage. Similarly, if I as a realtor want to fire a client, and that has happened in the past for whatever reason, I now can no longer do that. I can assign it to another realtor in my office, but that is something that we are now kind of stuck with. And we're still trying to figure out what exactly that means from both our perspective and the buyer's perspective moving forward. So I think for you as buyers, the most important thing you can take from all of this is knowing that a formal document is now required, just like you would hire any other professional, and knowing that you have an opportunity to interview and really find the best agent working for you. I want you to feel confident in the realtor that you select when you're looking for a home. And if you're in Washington State and you're trying to figure out who that person could potentially be, drop me a message. I would love to send you my free buyer's guide, walking you through the entire process, as well as showing you a little bit about who I am. And if you are thinking about interviewing, would love to be one of those people you select. If you have any more questions about how this rule could potentially impact you as a home buyer or otherwise, just in the market in general, drop those comments below. I would love to answer them for you.